AT&T, Amazon, and Dell.
Federal workers.
Employees at the Washington Post, they are being ordered back to the office 5 days a week.
In the years following the pandemic, remote work became the new normal. But that's not the case anymore.
I think a lot of organizations threw a lot of trust that they had built up with their employees out the window when they shifted very quickly away from all of the rhetoric around this is our new normal.
In 2022, fully remote jobs were about 1 in 5 job postings on LinkedIn. Today, that's down to about 1 in 12.
About 60% of the applications on LinkedIn are going to remote and hybrid roles, even though they're only about 20% of overall job postings.
Nearly half of hybrid and remote employees said they'd be unlikely to stay at their job if they were called back to their offices full-time. And if employees do choose to stay, some rebel against the mandates by only making brief appearances in the office, otherwise known as coffee badging. However, some workers are welcoming the switch.
When Amazon announced fully in office, I was excited to get in there in person with all my teammates.
So what's causing the push for employees to return to office? And what does the future of work look like? There are a couple of reasons why companies might do a return to office mandate. One, they have real estate and they want to make use of it.
Another reason is that companies may think that workers are possibly more productive in the office. Productivity translates to profits.
Shifting labor market dynamics is another one.
While by broad measures, the job market is doing pretty well with unemployment low and still adding jobs, we do see that the momentum has shifted back to employers.
Basic economics. When supply is up, there are fewer reasons for employers to offer incentives like flexible work. There are also certain types of leaders who are more likely to make these demands.
We found return-to-office mandates are more likely in firms with male and powerful CEOs. They are used to working in the office for 5 days a week, and they feel that they are losing control over their employees who are working from home. And another big reason is stock market pressure. Return-to-office mandates are more likely after firms' stock price crash. And a very easy explanation for the poor performance by the managers is actually employees are being lazy at home.
The most common industries with RTO mandates are finance, insurance, and real estate at 32%, followed by manufacturing at 30%. Return-to-office mandates are also viewed by some as back-channel layoffs. A June 2024 Bamboo HR survey found that 25% of VP and C-suite executives and 18% of HR professionals admitted to hoping that their return-to-office mandates would lead to voluntary turnover. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy denied in an all-hands meeting that the company's 5-day in-office mandate had anything to do with this.
These organizations may think that their goal is to, remove X%. That's not going to fix whatever is going on in their organization. I think what people really want is to work in organizations that have been very deliberate about what they're doing, so that if they have to come into an office every day, they're not spending the entire day in video calls with people in other offices or working from home.
The big question everyone is asking is whether 5 days in the office actually improves productivity and firm performance. While Ma's study didn't have a good measure of productivity, the expectation is that higher employee productivity leads to better financial performance. The study found no significant change in the latter.
But we do find significant evidence that return-to-office mandates hurt employee job satisfaction. We collect millions of Glassdoor job reviews, and we found that after return-to-office mandates, job satisfaction ratings significantly drop.
A lack of alternative job opportunities doesn't help. However, some workers do feel that collaboration has improved since being in office full-time.
I've worked probably 3 years total of being fully remote. Personally, it is a large enabler of procrastination, and it doesn't add the same energy as when you're in person. You can have small conversations in an elevator. You can randomly run into leadership and do an elevator pitch of your idea.
But return-to-office mandates can lead to employee turnover, whether wanted or not.
We found that after firms impose return-to-office mandates, their turnover rate significantly increase and their hiring rate significantly decrease. And it also takes significantly longer time for firms to hire new employees. And what's more important is the people who are leaving the firm are not the people you want to lose. These are the female employees, the more skilled employees, and the senior employees.
Logistics are another issue.
I'm not speaking on Amazon's behalf, but from what I saw personally as an employee at Amazon is that we had a lot of hybrid desks to start when RTO was at 3 days a week, and moving to 5 days a week. From the offices that I've seen my other coworkers in, they have had modified policies if they didn't have enough desks. But I think this is a very rare exception case.
One of the major arguments for RTO mandates are the small businesses that need to be busy in order to thrive.
Food trucks, laundry services. There are a lot of businesses that depend on workers in the office, and when workers are not in the office, these businesses don't do well.
I think will happen in the next few years. It will be more firms trying to call employees back to the office, but most firms will still be hybrid rather than 5-day return to office.
Ma believes that smaller firms will not follow the lead of larger ones on RTO because they can't afford to lose talent.
So the big firms can afford losing some talents in the short term, but the smaller firms are actually providing flexibility as a way to attract talents from the bigger competitors.
Two popular methods that organizations have used to adopt hybrid work models are to enforce a 3-day in-office mandate or use a team choice approach.
The team choice approach is better than 3 days in-office mandates. When firms impose 3-day return to office mandates, it creates a big trust issue. Basically, the managers are telling employees that I do not believe you are actually working at home. In contrast, by allowing teams to make the best decisions for themselves, companies are actually empowering teams.
Organizations also have the option of reversing an RTO mandate based on employee feedback, like H&R Block did after initially announcing a 3-day in-office mandate.
One trend that's currently favoring employees is demographics. The population is aging and our workforce is set to shrink. As that shrinks, employers are going to have to do more to attract employees, and offering flexible work might be the thing that they have to do.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of people talking about RTO as a very simple answer for fixing a lot of very complicated and complex problems within organizations. Maybe it has a role in certain environments and in certain cases, done thoughtfully. But if we think we're going to kind of wave the magic RTO wand and fix some really fundamental problems in our organizations, we're going to be pretty disappointed.